Rolling Stone are a publication that I don't really have that strong of an opinion on them, but I don't think they're amazing. I think they do a lot of things that they just know, like, they shill for a lot of things that they know are just the popular things. And I think sometimes they try and be a little bit edgy, but overall they're kind of like the Hard Rock Cafe of pop culture review platforms. I need to grab a Grizzly beer. Oh man, don't even know if I would want a beer right now, actually, to be honest. I used to take 20 milligrams of melatonin every single night before I went to sleep, and I did this for about a year and a half, and like, it was fine. Like, I slept and then like I adjusted to it or whatever, and now, like, every now and then, maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once every 3 weeks, I have 10 milligrams of melatonin one night, and it just seems to make me more tired. Like, my voice is tired. I don't know what it is, but it's probably bad. Maybe it's the type of thing that you're only supposed to have like regularly, and you can't just have like one. I don't know. But I need to grab a Grizzly water. I got myself a Grizzly water before I started. You know what I found out today? There is no crossplay on GTA. So if I'm on PS5, I can't play with people on PS4 on GTA. Isn't that such a load of bollocks? Like, how fucking hard would it be to implement that? I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm asking the question. But okay, so for more than 8 decades, blah blah blah. I don't care about this. Okay, the 100th best sitcom of all time. Best sitcom of all time. Schitt's Creek. I have not seen this. This is a Netflix TV show, I think. I don't really have anything to say about it, given that I haven't seen it. But people who recommend it to me seem to think that it's great. Schitt's Creek is very good. Yeah, see? Frank's Place. Never heard of that. Derry Girls. That's fucking wild to see that there. Did Derry Girls cross the pond to Rolling Stone to America? Against the backdrop of the Troubles in 1990s Northern Ireland, headstrong Erin, her kooky cousin, blah 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 blah, shop owners flat. I've never seen this show. I know I'm very aware that it's popular. It's really popular in Ireland, and especially like with people in the north. So I guess it must do a good job of representing them. But I'm really surprised to see it on here. Like, it's only 3 years ago that it came out, and it's so specific to one particular region. It's just crazy that this has this kind of reach. Feel like I'm not gonna have seen most of these. Dude, I'd be surprised. Like, I've never even seen like fucking Seinfeld or any of those types of things, so I don't really think I'm gonna actually have much to say on this. But listen, if Dexter's Laboratory is on here, then we are golden. Night Court. Like, okay, Bluey. What is a sitcom? What is a sitcom? Sitcom, including for situation, genre, centered on fixed characters carrying out over from episode to episode. Can be contrasted with sketch comedy, stand-up comedy. Okay. So The Simpsons is a sitcom. Oh, okay. What? For some reason, I always associate sitcoms with like being filmed in studios where it's really obviously a studio. You know what I mean? I also enjoyed Derry Girls, and I don't mean the TV show. Jesus. Didn't think it crossed over the little pond. Yeah, me neither. Situational comedy. I mean, I knew that much, but usually there's a bit more to it. Like, what is like? You could apply that to a sketch show and say, well, that's a situational comedy. It's very dependent on the situation. Never thought of The Simpsons as a sitcom. Me neither. But I guess it fits the bill. Baskets. Never heard of this. Chip Baskett's a strange wife once told him. Baskets, though, tended to be a sad kind of show, or at least a bone-dry comedy that took various broad familiar comedy devices. Zach Galifianakis played both failed clown Chip and his petty twin brother Dale, while Louis Anderson got in drag to play their mother Christine utterly seriously. So plenty of room for laughter. I have a dickhead question to ask. Why is a man allowed to play a woman in a TV show like this, but Scarlett Johansson isn't allowed to play a trans man or whatever? Can we have one rule for this? Or like stop dicking around with like what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do? Thomas the Tank better be on this. It would make sense. When does a comedy turn into a sitcom? Well, it's said in the... It's just a genre of comedy centered on a fixed set of characters who carry over from episode to episode. So, like, that's kind of pretty much every single funny TV show ever, right? Like non-sketch show. But even sketch shows will routinely go back to the same characters from previous sketches. So, I don't really know. Chip and Dale, is that meant to be a shit joke? Because Chip and Dale is a thing. Could be, yeah, probably. Bones are wet, fun fact. While in the human body, that is. Thanks, Eddie. Insecure. Haven't seen this either. This is a terrible idea, Jake. I have not recognized it. Have I seen any of these shows so far? No, I haven't. Fucking hell, I can't wait till I have something to say. Let me tell you. Big mouth, okay. I think I might have watched the first episode of this and just not being able to fucking get into it. I'm not able to watch cartoons anymore, I don't think. Ugh, Daria. I remember this show, and she was really like fucking deadpan about everything. An icon in combat boots and glasses. Yeah, sardonic. It's a great word. Yes, deadpanning her way through interactions. This was actually a really good show, but I don't remember it like all too well because I was very young around this time. But if this was ever on, if I was flicking through the TV channels, like the music channels, and if this was on MTV, I would usually watch it. So that's pretty good. Daria is a show that indie girls on Twitter used to go mad for. Really? I don't mind it, but I enjoy shows that you watch and turn off. Okay. Best content is Elle telling us he's not seen or heard about things. So, you know, for some people, that's their entire personality, is turning up to conversations and saying, like, Imagine Dragons. Never heard of them. What do they sing? Like, some people think that that's a personality. To act like you're oblivious to phenomena as they occur in culture. Okay, never heard of Buffalo Bill. Big Bang Theory. This show fucking sucks so bad. Like, it really is actually garbage. I can't believe that it's on this list. I don't even understand who it's supposed to appeal to. And I really fucking hate the whole, oh, nerds are actually cool. Like revisionism that we're doing. I don't know. Yeah, but the tweet format, or the tweet like joke format, that the things in this show are not actually jokes, they are just nerd references. Like, that's really true. G-Ham. Imagine Dragons, why would I do that? G-Ham, thanks very much for 7 months, pal. I appreciate it. The Prime sub as well. I think I'm legally required to say thank you for the Prime instead of thank you for the sub. Big Bang Theory should be top 10. Jesus. It's been a long time, pal. Yes, it has. Same people who see the lineup on I'm a Celebrity and say, well, I don't know any of them. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Can't be a celebrity if I've... When I first moved to Scotland, right? And I met my ex-girlfriend's dad for the first time. He was like, where do you live in Ireland? And I was like, a place called Waterford. And he was like, never heard of that. And I was like, I live in a small town in Waterford. And he goes, well, it must be small if I've never heard of it. And I was like, why are you a fucking Irish geographer or something that you would have heard of it? Waterford is actually a pretty big county. But anyway, yeah, just I hate that whole like, well, if I've never heard of it, then I really like some of the IT crowd, but some of it is trying way too hard to be funny. I have genuinely never watched it. I like the football joke in it, the Walcott one. That's funny. But never really watched the show properly. To be honest though, it doesn't really seem like I would like it anyway. What do we have here? A Different World. It's crazy to me that this list is like encompassing, you know, this far into the past, and yet they still deem Derry Girls good enough to be in the top 100, and like Schitt's Creek as well. Not that like I haven't seen either of them, and they could very well be, but it just seems kind of wild to me. Party Down, never heard of this. Interesting. Soap. I mean, would you just look at that fashion? Okay, Living Single. All right. Can there be Modern Family? Nice. Number 84. Pilot episodes are hard. Comedy pilots are almost impossible. The vast majority of shows on this list started with half hours that didn't come close to suggesting their eventual greatness. With Modern Family, though, comedy vets Stephen Levitan and Christopher Lloyd knew exactly what they wanted to do from the start. The premiere even plays great on later viewings after you already know the twist. The three seemingly separate families you've been watching, bickering, blah, 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 are all part of the same extended clan. The downside of arriving so fully formed is that the show's adult characters didn't have as much room to grow, and later seasons so curdled the relationships that it was a wonder none of the couples divorced. But that start gave Modern Family enough early momentum to carry it to a record 5 consecutive outstanding comedy series wins at the Emmys. I really like this show, but I've only watched the first 3 seasons and no further than that. Shame about the episode that started Graham Linehan's anti-trans agenda. Yeah, I forgot that he was involved in that fucking show. Derry Girls and Schitt's Creek are both top 100 for me easily. The thing is, though, can you name 100 sitcoms? Like, I haven't watched 100 sitcoms in my life. Yeah, what James said. Modern Family gets him sick, but is really great. Never sat down and watched it, but when I was at a friend's house and got an episode, it seemed quite good. I first started watching it when I was in Birmingham with my friend Kieran, just before a Codaline. Did we go on like a little? I think we went. Yeah, we went to a couple of gigs on the Codaline tour, and the lads were actually living in Birmingham at the time. And me and Kieran stayed in their house one night, and he introduced me to Modern Family. And this was in like, it would have been probably 2012. And I was full on anti everything at the time. That was part of my personality, was being super cynical about fucking everything and never having fun and never letting myself enjoy anything. So I wasn't expecting to like it. But one thing that's really, really great about this show is that it's genuinely wholesome, and it's got like a really nice message to it, and that's why I don't know, it stuck with me. I honestly think that this show played like a tiny part in raising that veil of cynicism that I had. Poor guys living in Birmingham, man, if you saw the house that they were living in, you would not say poor guys. It was a fucking lovely apartment. So nothing's changed, question mark. I think I'm like almost the opposite of cynical nowadays. Phil, Cam, and Gloria carry it. What I loved the most about it is how inclusive the show is. Lloydie, what is up, my friend? All that fun you have. I have loads of fun. Thanks, Lloydie, for 9 months. Twitch baby, haha. But yeah, the cool thing about Modern Family is that it has like, there's like, you know, the whole fucking, like, Gloria was a single parent, and then Jay is like, that is his name, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. He's like not actually Manny's dad, but he steps in and does like such a fucking great job. I don't know. It's just a really cool show for that. I think that it's really good. What is this talking about the show and not just telling us you haven't seen it? I decided to play with the format a little bit, just to keep things interesting. But yeah, this is a good show for me. But I only saw the first I think I actually only saw the first 2.5 seasons, and I kind of didn't really need any more of it, but it is good. Letterkenny. Set in rural Ontario town. Letterkenny is a place in Donegal. I've never heard of this. Pitter patter, let's get at her is one of this Canadian comedy's many catchphrases. There is something about this that makes me think I would really like it. I tend to like Canadian TV shows. Like Suits. I know Suits is set in New York, but it's clearly filmed in Canada, and they use a lot of actors in it who are like famous more in Canada. And then there was that other show, what was that show about the time traveling lady? She's like a cop and she goes back in time. I can't remember what the fucking name of it is, but that's a Canadian TV show. That's pretty good. Hey, Sacha Banton, how's it going? I feel like I've seen a bit. Back to the Future. Yeah, that's the TV show. I mean, it's fucking Doctor Who. Okay. Canadian time travel TV show cop lady. It is called Continuum. That's the one. It was kind of shit, to be honest, but like something was good about it, and I watched, I think, the first 2 seasons of this, and yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed like this kind of shitty TV show style. Also, there was people in it that I recognized from the TV show Jericho, which I also kind of enjoyed. But yeah, I'll probably... Is this... So this is on Netflix. Is it? Crave. It could be on Netflix. But I think I'll watch it. Something about it is appealing. Look at that. Don't we all just want to be a blurry image at a bar? Yeah, I don't know. Looks good. And it's apparently the 83rd... Oh, Jesus. I have the trailer here. I don't want to watch that now. It's apparently the 83rd greatest sitcom of all time, so that's good. How I Met Your Mother. What did Jake say? If you like Canadian TV shows and sitcoms capable of delivering heartwarming moments, you might like Schitt's Creek. Do you know what I don't like about that TV show? Is the fucking name. Bernard's Watch. Bernard was such a little fucking loser. He did not get the most out of that watch. That's all I'm going to say on stream. How I Met Your Mother was decent enough, but the ending was dreadful. Don't particularly like it, but it deserves to be there. I guess. I never really liked it. And I also really fucking hate people going around saying Bazinga all the fucking time. But yeah, fair enough. It probably does deserve to be there. I'd say you're right about that, GM. Also, like, fucking 9 years is a long time for a sitcom, so fair play to them. I remember, I think I was staying with Ty one night in Northampton and watched a couple episodes of this with him, I think. And like, I thought it was all right. And then when I came back to Ireland, I fucking downloaded like an entire season of it, and I just did not laugh once. Just sat there like Bazinga isn't how I Met Your Mother. Whatever. What's the thing that Barney says? Barney says something in it that's... Bazinga was what Barney famously said every time. Yeah, that's what I thought. Is it not from that? I don't know. Whatever if it isn't. He said something though. Was it like that he's awesome all the time or something? I don't fucking know. But yeah, this was a show that I looked at and just sat there with a really sour face, never laughing. Will and Grace, I never watched this, but it was huge at the time. I think I was just a little bit too young to appreciate it when I was younger, and then never bothered revisiting it when I was older. Something about 90s TV production style is just... Barney says, wait for it. Ah, that's the one. He said Eureka. Yeah. Okay, thanks. He says, bat, wait for it, Zynga. Well, the type of people who would go around saying either blah, 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 wait for it, blah, 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 or else Bazinga were just the worst. And I put them in the same bracket as each other, so I think that that's fair. Under weaknesses, he put eczema. Right. Sanford and Son. Never saw it, but their first 3 albums are fucking dreadful. WKRP in Cincinnati. Looks good. Peep Show. Number 78, boyos. They used to be back to back on E4. That explains a lot. E4 has a lot to answer for. This Britcom. Good thing that I didn't say that about Dairy Girls. Became a word of mouth cult favorite, even in the US. Wait. So this shouldn't S also have a full stop at the end of it? Like, shouldn't it be US full stop so that you know? Because this just makes it look like this became a word of mouth cult favorite, even in the United S. Stars. I don't feel like this is a sentence, the way this is written. Oh, yeah, it is. It's saying stars David Mitchell and Robert Webb, who did their own blah, 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 blah. Huge influence on Key and Peele. Played a couple of socially inept London mates, bumbling and slacking through life. The actors wore head-mounted cameras for a point-of-view feel. Peep Show was also where future Oscar winner Olivia Colman first turned heads. Is that true? Was she never in anything before that? That's wild if that's true. Most classic scene. Webb gets up at his uncle's funeral to give a bizarrely poignant rant comparing Jesus to Enya. I think that's a big call, pal. I think most people probably would not even include that in their top 5 most classic scenes, but still a very good scene nonetheless. Literally one of the most forgettable Peep Show scenes. I like it. I do actually think that it's really good, but it's absolutely not fucking classic. It's top 10 ever. GM, you have to cool it with these kinds of takes. You don't know what the top 10 is even gonna be, or maybe you do, but yeah, I fucking love this show. One of the things that works so well about it is the fact that both characters are so different but still so relatable. I really find that to be like actually like profoundly clever style of character forming or whatever, and it only just somehow just occurred to my idiotic fucking brain that they wore mounted cameras. So most of the time when they were having dialogue with each other, they would be looking into the cameras. That's really weird. How did they always keep it at eye level? That's crazy. I like it a lot, but I'd never say that is near one of my favorites. Yeah, no, me neither. Hey, it does have a point of view feel. It does. Peep Show, Always Sunny, and The Office all deserve to be top 10 in my opinion. Yeah, fine. Like, it's really hard to make calls like that, because have you seen WKRP in Cincinnati? Like, can you confidently say that that they are all better than WKRP in Cincinnati? Like, oh, Rage Man with the gifted sub. Rage Man gifting 13 subs to my channel. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much, pal. I appreciate that. What is the list title? It's called the 100 best TV sitcoms of all time. Are you in my Discord, Sasha? It's in the fucking Stream Ideas channel if you are. Given the inclusion of the Enya scene makes me think they didn't watch. Yeah, I agree. Not even in the top 3. EastEnders should be up there. Notorious situational comedy EastEnders. No one here has ever heard of it, but Only Fools and Horses got to be number 1. That show is hilarious. Yeah, no one's ever heard of. No one's ever heard of it. I bet. Like, will Father Ted be on this? I don't know. Like, it's the Rolling Stone. Can we trust them? Hate horses, so don't think I'll like it. One day at a time. That's your one from Police Academy, is it? No, I shouldn't have said that because I don't know if that's true. When I said Police Academy, I meant fucking Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Anyway, I don't know this TV show, so. New Girl, that's the one with Zooey Deschanel. I only ever watched like 1 or 2 episodes of this, and I thought it was alright, but I didn't love it. I think this was another one that Ty used to watch all the time. But yeah, I don't know. People who like it say it's good. Fools and Horses is how they're billing the boxing match between True Geordie and Tiger Roll. Okay. New Girl is decent. I'm sure it is. Blackadder, never watched this. This was always something that when it was on TV, I was fucking annoyed because I didn't like it. Futurama. Now this is a television show. The Simpsons is an impossible act to follow in the present, so Matt Groening decided to leap forward 1,000 years for this sci-fi comedy about a guileless pizza boy named Fry, accidentally frozen for millennia, who joins an interstellar delivery service alongside alcoholic robot Bender and one-eyed alien warrior Leela. Futurama mostly lacked the human element that made its predecessor so special, but it was able to compensate with satiric scope in which alien civilizations could be modeled on anything from Willy Wonka to Ally McBeal. I guess you wouldn't watch every episode of Futurama and feel like wholesome, feel-good vibes that you would get from like the Simpsons episode where Lisa's professor hands her the note that says "You are Lisa Simpson," like that kind of thing. But there is a scene in Futurama involving Fry's dog that honestly made me bawl my fucking eyes out like a fucking 6-year-old schoolgirl when I watched it. So I don't think The Simpsons ever made me cry, but Futurama absolutely did. So in my opinion, it's actually more poignant. Why have you brought up that dog episode? You are a 6-year-old schoolgirl? Thanks, man. That scene tore me to shreds. It's honestly, it is so touching. Like, it is impossible to watch that scene and not feel something. It's yeah, I don't know. It's just so powerful. And I think that like maybe it did mostly lack the human element, but when it hit it, it really fucking did a great job. There's also an episode where Fry has to I really can't remember the storyline of it, but it's like it's the episode where they have the song "In the Year 2525", and it's like Fry, Bender, and the professor. What the fuck is his name? Farnsworth, or is that the other guy? But they go into the future, and then they have to like go the whole way around time to come back to the point where they were beforehand. And Fry realizes how much he misses Leela during that time, and like he basically does anything he can to get back to her. And that was a pretty powerful one as well. What about the episode where Homer thinks he's gonna die, or when Bart gets stuck in the well? Hey Al, I have no audio and I'm currently tuned in from Dr. Hoffman's office, but I hope the stream is splendid. Thanks, Tradiac. You can't hear me, so there's no point in me saying that. When Millhouse meets the other episode, or the other Millhouse. Hope you get the lethal injection. Mother of God. There's a brand new show called Rick and Morty, which is amazing. Probably too intellectual for you. Look of the Friarish was a class one as well. I don't think I remember that offhand, but I probably would if I watched it. But Futurama was a really, really, really powerful show. Like, they deserve a lot of credit. Absolutely fabulous. Never seen that. She's Someone, though. Is that your one from Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders? Okay. The Comeback. Never saw it. But wow, that's Lisa Kudrow. Rich and famous, do whatever she wants for the rest of her life. Why does she have a bad look to instead wind up on one of those mediocre shows? Interesting. She plays largely forgotten sitcom actress. This is actually the kind of thing that I would watch. I kind of like shows like that. I wonder what the like production quality of it is like. Well, that gives me no indication, but that's interesting. I never even knew that show existed. Rick and Morty. You guys should check this out. You have to be really, really clever to watch it, though. It's really like this is a show for people with high IQs, definitely. Joanna Lumley. Saunders woman, is it not? Pickle Rick. Jennifer Saunders plays the fairy godmother in Shrek 2. Wow. Love Rick and Morty, but hate Rick and Morty fans. I'm really lucky that I've managed to avoid Rick and Morty fans for pretty much my entire life. I've honestly like never met someone who's like that about it. If Firefly isn't number one, I'm leaving the stream. It's sitcoms. Is Firefly a situational comedy? I don't really think so. One of the most iconic animated performance. Hey Tashi, how's it going? Found a laptop. Where was it? Hard agree with Jake. Rick and Morty began life as a pornographic spoof of the Back to the Future films called The Real Animated Adventures of Doc and Marty. I bet you like the stereotypical Rick and Morty fan who's a big fucking moron but thinks he's a brain genius is probably reading this like, man, I knew it had something to do with Back to the Future. When he teamed up with community creator Dan Harmon seems like legitimately like one of the funniest people ever. Like from pretty much everything that he's done and his like reputation and stuff, he's I don't know, just an incredible like body of work there. The idea evolved into one of the most imaginative and darkest comedies ever put on television. As mad scientist Rick and his victimized grandson Morty travel to strange alien worlds and parallel realities, there seems to be no limit to what they can do or what the series can be. In perhaps the defining episode, Rick transforms himself into a pickle to avoid family therapy with Morty. Blah blah blah. Battles rats and a drug cartel. Eventually has to go to the therapy session anyway. Yeah, Pickle Rick. XD face. This show is actually genuinely incredible. He's the community guy. Yeah, he is. He's still leaving the stream. He said it now, and I'm going to take a stand with him. Okay. I avoided this show for so long because of its reputation. It had such a bad reputation. But I started watching it and I really, really like it. It's a kind of a genre of sci-fi this is kind of a wild thing to say, but it's not too dissimilar to stuff that you would see on shows like The Outer Limits and The Twilight Zone. Like for example, the episode with the fucking, there's like an alien race invading and they get into your brain and make you remember things so that you feel like you always have had a concept of them in your life because of the memories. But then if you realize that you have no bad memories with them, then you know that they're an alien or whatever it was. Like that's such a fucking amazing concept for an episode. Yeah, I really liked it. So good job with them. The Phil Silvers Show, never heard of it. Flight of Conchords. This, I feel like people talk about this all the time, and I've just never ever seen it. Thanks for the follow, Tashi. I appreciate it. And thanks for finding a laptop in a faraway land. This was a swell episode. That was a swell episode. Yeah, it really is. I was talking about these guys last night. Yeah, you were. But it made me realize that just the Flight of the Conchords, isn't this like an old, I want to say, military TV, military movie or military story, something about a fucking, I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't know this TV show. I don't really have anything to say. Never seen this. Never seen Get Smart. But that man is talking to a shoe. Phineas and Ferb, isn't? Yeah, Disney. Never seen this. I'm sure it's good. What We Do in the Shadows. This is another thing that everyone keeps fucking telling me to watch, and I will not. The way to get me to watch things is not to tell me about it. It's to let me find out about it by myself and fucking decide. Flight of the Conchords was my jam. I've seen this, but a couple of my older housemates really loved that. Not gonna lie, I thought Flight of the Conchords. Okay, so Flight of the Conchords is a war film. I am almost certain about this. War film. Has to be. Or am I thinking of something completely fucking different? Like this name, Flight of the Conchords, is not, they didn't come up with that, right? But it looks like they did though. What the fuck am I thinking of? What's Flight of the Navigator? Is that a war film? Man, I don't know. But I'm confused. You're thinking of Saving Private Ryan. Ah, Thought What We Do in the Shadows was a film. Yeah, it is. It's about some dude from New Zealand living in the USA. They get into shenanigans more often than not, including the ambassador of New Zealand. Nice. Flight of the Airplanes. No. Flight of the Valkyries. No. It's Ride of the Valkyries. Designing Women. Sure, that's good. The Thick of It. You know, I've never watched this show while sober. Only watched it while stoned out of my fucking mind. Always liked it, but can never watch it sober. So haven't seen it in quite a while. But it's good, and this character is brilliant. So good stuff here. Flight of the Flies. I don't think we're gonna get it, Eddie. I don't think we're gonna guess it. Got a lot of time for the thick of it. I watched a lot of the thick of it when I stayed with Miguel, which was fucking 3 years ago now. That's crazy to think. Lewis Capaldi's uncle. Yeah, that's true. He certainly is. Okay. Catastrophe. This show is so fucking good. A romance that plays out in the wrong order. American businessman Rob and Irish-born teacher Sharon have a one-night stand while he's in London on a business trip, find out that Sharon is pregnant, reluctantly move in together, have the baby, get married, and only then really fall in love. It's so good. This show is really, really good. There's also there's a Scottish character in it. Is this him here? Mark Bonner. Yeah, this lad. Every interaction between him and Rob Delaney in this show is just prime time television. It's what you want. I don't know why I said prime time television. The time really has nothing to do with it, but the type of television that it is good television. So everyone should watch it. It's Mr. Twitter Man. Yeah, Rob Delaney, like, people don't understand this now because the concept of weird Twitter is kind of dead. But Rob Delaney is one of the greatest tweeters of all time. This guy pretty much like made me stay on Twitter for years and years with his tweets. I even have his book in the drawer behind me, and it's such an amazing read. I really, really recommend it. Don't promote drugs, Al. No, I didn't. Ties like second cousins, but you're Scottish, Al. Can't find anywhere to watch. I can't find anywhere to watch Barry, but it's absolutely top of my list. Oh, Barry. Is that the show with... No, I'm not even going to say it. Hope this niche TV show Friends is on here. You lads might not know it. It was in the 90s, but it's really good. Is Friends the show that tore apart the fabric of American society single-handedly? Mark Bonnar is great. He was in a miniseries called Guilt. Yeah, he's brilliant. Like, he's such a fucking talented actor. Good Times. Never seen it. Well, how's the lighting thing going on here? It's alright, I guess. If I dropped any frames? No. This new internet is really working out. Spaced. I actually tried watching Spaced really recently, and I just couldn't get into it. And I know that it's supposed to be amazing. I put it off for so long because I had an ex-girlfriend who would never shut the fuck up about it for like 2 years. So I could never watch it. And then I think, was it like last year at some point? I think the end of last year, I was like, right, I need a new TV show to obsess over. I'm going to give this a try. It should be my kind of thing. Like, look at this guy, just looks like how I looked in 1999. This is exactly what I fucking dressed like. But yeah, no, I just couldn't get into it. Honestly. Never got Space, does nothing for me. Yeah, the same for me. And I feel like it should. Like, I feel like everything about it should be like a pop culture saturated take on life in a Gen X bubble circa the late 90s. It's like it was fucking made for me. Like, this is what I like. A fucking idiot. Yeah. Made for fucking idiots. It's Jerry Shandling's show, okay? You're the Worst. I don't know this show. Murphy Brown. The Odd Couple. I know of this because of The Simpsons, but I never watched it. The Bernie Mac Show. Did I watch this? No, I don't think I did. But that looks familiar to me. Maybe I've seen scenes from it. Scrubs. Young doctors JD and Turk and Elliot begin their hospital internships full of optimism, only to learn that medicine is a lot harder and sadder than expected. Sounds like the premise for a drama, and Scrubs had no shortage of genuine heartbreak along the way as patients died and lessons were learned. But the series managed to unleash those tears in the context of what was otherwise a bright, goofy comedy filled with dance numbers. Watch Shadowhunters by saying that he never will. It's true. There was a really good but bad TV show called Manifest based on Twilight Zone episode where a flight takes off and goes missing, returns 5 years into the future. That sounds interesting. Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah, Malcolm in the Middle is great. I loved Scrubs during my teens. I'll be honest with you all, right? Not a popular take of mine. I fucking hate this show. I could not stand watching it. The only good thing about it is Dr. Cox and his really like cutting insults that he has. But overall, I fucking hated this show, and I fucking hate Zach Braff so much. And yeah, you can cancel me. I am Alan Partridge. Having been banished from his BBC talk show for killing a guest, TV broadcaster Alan Partridge finds himself living in a small town hotel while salvaging his career. Over 2 seasons, Steve Coogan's signature buffoon went from a parody of celebrity presenter Smarm to one of the greatest Britcom characters ever. You don't have to call it Britcom. This is so... His recreation of The Spy Who Loved Me credit sequence alone is a testament to how Coogan could turn one man's idiocy into television comedy bliss. He'd go on to resurrect the character a number of times. Yeah, this show is really, really good, but it's also a very, very tough show to explain to someone else. Do you know what I mean? Scrubs is another that people around me loved, but I couldn't get into. Partridge's genuine comedic genius. I'd like to retract all the subs I've ever given to the channel after that take on Scrubs. Also, the word crub just looks hilarious to me for some reason. Yeah, Alan Partridge is great. But again, it's a show that it's really, really hard to... I have a friend who... I'm sure I can tell this story. There's an Alan Partridge... the DVD box set has a couple of Easter eggs on it. And one of the Easter eggs is that when you finish watching it, it goes back to the main menu on the DVD, but it's not the main menu anymore. It's the main menu for something called Bangkok Ladyboys. And it's like a really suggestive, like pornographic style. I'm sure you can all imagine what it looks like. My friend was watching this DVD one night during like I don't know, he had friends over and whatever. And they all left and like they were all drinking and stuff. He fell asleep. The DVD played the whole way through, and he woke up to his dad asking him what the fuck was on the television. And he looks over and it says Bangkok Ladyboys, and his dad thought that he was watching that on the main DVD player in the house. So pretty funny. Anyway, Police Squad. I've actually seen some of this when I was younger, and it is really good. It's very much of the... Yeah, like Naked Gun and Airplane kind of ilk. It's like full-on parody spoof type thing, but it's very, very good. If you don't call it a Britcom, how are we supposed to know its background? True. I think if you don't have that sense of humor, you wouldn't understand why it's funny. I fucking hate overusing this word so much, but it's esoteric. That sounds hilarious. Thank you. Okay. What? How do I... Okay. Load more. It should just load more. Like, I've reached this far down into the thing. News radio. Never seen that. Barney Miller. Never seen that. When did they... Why does everyone dress the same in these old shows? The Jeffersons. Never seen that. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So, I've never fucking watched this show ever in my life, believe it or not. It's from my like era of childhood, but this wasn't shown on TV when I was younger because we only had 4 channels and this TV show did not make it onto any of them. So I actually never saw Fresh Prince. And I think this is the first time I've ever publicly admitted that. So now I have to live with the consequences of that. It's one of those shows that people get very passionate about. Am I still... the lighting is okay in here, I guess. Cheers would probably be a top 10? Yeah, I'd say so. Used to love getting home from school and watching Fresh Prince and the channel that used to be TMF. Huge nostalgia factor. Yeah. I was a big fan of Will Smith when I was younger too. I used to have one of his albums on cassette. There's a sentence that a cool person says. The Good Place. Never seen it, but it must be about Swords, County Dublin, because that's the good place. Broad City. That looks good. Not every web series is built for the promotion to the TV big leagues. Broad City sure as hell was. Millennial buddy comedy. Sharp ambitious. Are you seeing this? Can you put that on television? They don't mean it in the context that I'm reading it, do they? I don't know. Good Place is actually surprisingly decent. Ah, okay. Gets worse as you go along. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Good Place was fun, but then I got annoyed at the way the plot moved on. It's really wholesome at points, and the writing is great. Ted Danson is a great straight man. Peg. Remember the pegging days of the stream. Yeah, and they're long behind us, and that word is banned, so let's just leave it there. Veep. Never seen this. I bet you this show has aged badly because of how the landscape of politics has changed. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. No mods you need the most. I've heard that people like Veep. I've heard Veep is incredibly good. I feel like I don't know, I'm just saying this basically, but anything that ventures into like political absurdity has been made redundant by the Trump years, in my opinion, because you look at that and it's like it couldn't get any fucking worse. But then this does flow into Trump territory, so it probably adjusts to it accordingly. Veep's actually amazing. Okay, fine, guys. Jesus, it's great. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is really good, but some episodes... Nah, actually, I really like it, and it's really wholesome as well. It can be a bit... It can be a bit over the top sometimes, I think, but I really like it. Especially the Miami episodes are fucking class. I liked Brooklyn Nine-Nine loads, but just stopped watching it. Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, I just stopped watching it. But I stop watching TV shows all the time, even if I like them. Like my favorite TV show ever, I'm halfway through it, and there's no reason why I haven't finished it. I just haven't. It's a weird one. Brockmire. Never heard of it. Oh, Frank. I don't know how you... Or Hank. Frank. I don't know how you pronounce his name. But, that looks interesting. King of the Hill. This show, I tell you. Really enjoyed it, but I didn't care about the characters the same way as other shows. 911 Lone Star is really good. I think I have heard of that. It sounds very familiar. Before they teamed up for this gently weird animated comedy, Mike Judge created Beavis and Butthead, while Greg Daniels wrote... Greg Daniels, is he... Ah, yes. I thought I recognized his name. A Texas propane salesman who's convinced the world is going to hell in a handbasket, and the best he can do is care for his lawn and immediate family. This King of the Hill was like, it was on TV a lot when I was younger, and I never really got it because I think I was a little bit too young for it. But anytime I catch it now in my old age, I think it's great. Greg Daniels is The Office. Yeah, I thought I recognized the name. BoJack is another one I liked a lot, but stopped watching one day and never finished it. Johnny Sun writes for BoJack Horseman. I feel like I want to watch King of the Hill again from the start because I did really like it. Review, never heard of that. Blackish, never heard of that. Instant success of Modern Family is inspiration for a way of family sitcoms. Okay. Friends. Now this show, you guys won't know this. I think Jordy in chat knows it. But this show tore apart the fabric of American society. It can be difficult to separate Friends, the phenomenon, from Friends, the sitcom. No, it can't. In the former, the cast, Courtney Cox, Matt LeBlanc, Lisa Kudrow, blah, 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 all became enormous, ubiquitous stars, inspiring every network to shift from family and workplace sitcoms to ones about attractive singles in the city. But the phenomenon of Friends doesn't happen without the show itself being great. From the Swiss watch timing of Perry and Kudrow to the unmistakable chemistry among those 6 co-stars in virtually any combination. The idea of Friends being the family you choose had its power, but mainly because they were these friends played by these people. Friends more like the downfall of Western culture. Exactly. BoJack is like a deep cartoon version of Californication. Never seen that. I'd never watched a single episode of Friends before uni, then watched it all through and I loved it. Yeah, this show I pretty much like. This and The Simpsons were like just the two like defining staple television things of my childhood. I'm sure it's the same for everybody in my age bracket. I don't know how well it's aged because I'm not even able to objectively analyze it. Like it feels like it's just a part of my life. That's how strongly into it I am. But I want to show you something. Oasis, Don't Go Away, Letterman. This is the most 90s piece of television right here. Wait, I'm wrong. There's a performance where Oasis play this song and they're introduced by Chandler. Maybe it wasn't on Letterman. Maybe it was on Jay Leno. Did they play it on that? Swear to God, what I'm talking about is a real thing. I'm telling you. Oh, it was on SNL. And it's gone now. Well, anyway, if you ever get a chance to see Oasis on Saturday Night Live with Matthew Perry introducing them, it's the most 90s thing ever. He's wearing a big leather jacket and it's just great. Take It or Leave It by the Strokes is my favorite Letterman performance. I don't even have a favorite Letterman performance. Bob's Burgers. This show is class. It's really fucking good. Also, Sam Cedar voices the food safety guy, I think, in this show. But yeah, it's really good. It is irresistibly quirky, and all of that stuff. It's just really good. It's this show is also like super. What's the word? It can be really anxiety inducing sometimes because of the way that the dad acts. But yeah, I would recommend it. It's really good. It's on during the day a lot. Boobs Burger, lol. Well done. Mandela effect. Yeah. No, it's definitely real. Yeah, it's been removed though from the internet. Saturday Live. Ah, it's on Vimeo. People. Ladies and gentlemen, Oasis. Look at that. It's just it just screams 90s. Even this television logo up here with the 3D effect. Amazing. Anyway, Sex and the City. Never watched this show. No interest in it. My mum used to like it. I don't know. I just don't really. Not for me. This show I also fucking cannot stand. I actually hate everybody in this show. And not just the characters. I fucking hate the actors as well. And everything that they were in afterwards. I don't know. Yeah. That's the... Matthew Perry looked very handsome there. He did. Iconic, isn't it though? SpongeBob Square. This is another thing. I could never fucking get into this show. It used to be on back when I would finish school and then go to my childminder's house. This would be on. I never ever liked it. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? Just follow the Fresh Prince. Thank you, Sideshow Dave, for 9 months. I appreciate it, pal. This text-to-speech lady isn't working for me, and I don't know why. What was first? Everybody Hates Chris or Everybody Loves Raymond? Everybody Loves Raymond, I'm pretty sure. SpongeBob SquarePants is overrated. I really genuinely think that this show is overrated, or that people are seeing something that I'm just not seeing. Like, have you ever seen Liam Gallagher talk about this show? Like, he fucking loves it. And he's like a 40-something-year-old man. It's mental to me. Dave, it's good to see you, pal. Thanks for the sub. Better Things. I've heard about this show. If you didn't know, the co-creator... have any of you seen this? I love it, but it's so connected to my youth. I've been waiting to make that joke for so long. I wish that the text-to-speech lady read it out. It was very good. The Golden Girls. So, crazy thing about this show, right? The lead producer on this show is Sam Harris's mother. Why are you saying rip? Has the stream died? No. Why rip? Has something died? Fucking hate moments like this. Anyways, he used to like Louis by Louis C.K., but really couldn't bear it after it came out. Yeah. The Louis C.K. thing is certainly fucking weird. Also, for anyone who is, to go back to your earlier point, Bob's Burgers is great. It is. Aren't most of the cast dead? Oh, I don't fucking know. Hence rip. I mean, you could have said that about any of these TV shows from the 70s and stuff like that. Rip to Golden Girls. So, for anyone who is in the trenches of the internet culture wars, G-Ham, I'm looking at you. Dave Rubin used to be the leader of a Golden Girls fan club. And that is how he became friends with Sam Harris, because Sam Harris's mother was a producer for this show. So that's crazy. That's just a really fucking weird fact, in my opinion. Fawlty Towers. This show is considered like majorly iconic. It's only 6 episodes, I'm pretty sure. Oh, 12. I used to like it when I was younger, but I could absolutely never watch it now. I don't know why exactly. It's like it's like 50 years old, so maybe that's the reason. But amazing show, but racism bad. I don't think Dave Rubin is a racist, to be fair. Like, he's a very stupid man, but I don't think racism is something you could accuse him of. Well, maybe when he sat Stefan Molyneux in front of him. Oh, Fawlty Towers. Okay, sorry. Is this show racist? I didn't even know that. Oh, because of the... I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's from the 70s. The Office UK. I've never ever watched this show. An episode where he says the N-word. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Didn't know that. It's pretty bad, especially post-civil rights movement. In the late 1970s in Britain. That's pretty fucking yikes, in my opinion. Yeah, never watched this because I hate Ricky Gervais so much. But I understand that it's an iconic TV show that like people hold in very high esteem. Got to say, big fan of The Office despite hating Gervais. I just wouldn't be able for it. Even like the clips I've seen on YouTube and stuff, I just don't like them. UK is better than US. I too hate Ricky G. My hatred of Ricky Gervais tarnishes how good this show is. I don't like Ricky Gervais, but that sketch he has with Liam Neeson is so good. I think it works because you're meant to hate Brent. Yeah, probably. I just love the American version of this show way too much that I don't know. It's just, that one is my one. Gervais is the reason I have no interest in watching that show. Yeah. David Brent is to Ricky Gervais what Smithy is to James Corden. Awful people, but characters make their bad qualities work. Yeah, fair. I don't like, for as much as I dislike Ricky Gervais, I do think that he is an incredibly talented guy, and I really like respect how he made himself, like how he made that whole, like his entire thing happen. I don't think you could do that without the talent that he has. Even like his jokes, like I never really laugh at them with his delivery, but like if you read his jokes written down, you can clearly see that he's got a very clever mind for it. I don't think that he's like an amazing person who should be like a, you know, like a polymath, or like that his opinion on one thing is super important just because he's good at comedy. But I think he is really, really good at comedy. I just don't like him, and that's fine. It's okay to not like things. You ever seen all those pics of Liam Neeson pissing himself? Yeah, that's so weird and actually really sad to look at, to be honest. Martin Freeman plays a sarcastic guy with a heart of gold very well. Yeah, Martin Freeman is very talented too. Yes, GM, I don't understand why there are so many. It's, some people just have incontinence. Like, I don't know. I think that it's really sad. Google it, the guy is leaking constantly. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You guys probably don't know this show, but it's a pretty big deal. Spectacularly smart comedy about unbelievably stupid people. This show is so fucking good. Like, I cannot get over how good it is. And the amazing thing about this show is that it kind of gets better as it goes along. Like, its best episode is in like season 10 or something. And like some of my favorite episodes are from like seasons 11, 12, 13, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely robbed. I've decided it's the GOAT. How is It's Always Sunny this low? Like, it's the Rolling Stone. Do we trust them? I don't know. But this is such a fucking brilliant show. Like, I cannot get over how good it is. It's a show that I still will happily just binge forever. I feel like it's hard to get into at first. It definitely is. Like, it is. That is fair. And I do notice that I find it very hard to go back to seasons 1 and 2 now that I've seen how great it can be. But I still think that those seasons are very, like, the first episode is so good. Guess The Simpsons. Yeah, The Simpsons will be one. I would argue that season 5 is probably the best. Yeah, you do make a very good case for that, Rage Man. I feel like this makes me look so purple, but like, look, purple is that cocktail bar vibe that we're going for here. So Frank really changed the show in such a good way. He did, but he's my least favorite character though. And like, if there's ever an episode where he's featured really little, I kind of prefer it. I don't know how to explain. Mac and Dennis break up, Dennis system, wrestling for the troops, Frank's intervention, the gang hits the road. I watched the Gang Hits the Road really recently, but Wrestling for the Troops is such a fucking great episode. And like, Rowdy Roddy Piper is in it, and he's in loads of episodes as well. I love the gang buys a timeshare, where it's just like, you guys ever been to like Florida? Been there? Not physically. It's so fucking good. Malcolm in the Middle. This show is also incredible. Malcolm would rank high purely as laugh delivery system thanks to Family Sitcom Hall of Fame performances by, I should really be able to pronounce that, Jane Kashmarek and Bryan Cranston. Did you guys know that Bryan Cranston is the guy who plays the teacher on Breaking Bad? Cranstino is the man. Cranstino. The gang misses the boat. Gang spies like the US. Charlie work is is like one of the. I think Charlie Work is the highest rated episode of any TV show ever. Malcolm episodes are shot fantastically. They are brilliant. There's, you know, the scene in Malcolm in the Middle. Malcolm in the Middle. Hal Job. Will this give me what I want? Yeah, this.
Boys, I want
to. Give me a second here. Is this loud enough if I...
talk to you. I've got some good news. I've been thinking. You're both growing up. You're showing a lot more maturity these days. I think you've earned the right to a little bit more independence.
We're getting a car!
You're both getting jobs.
What?
Malcolm, I talked to the manager of the Lucky Aid this morning. You start there tomorrow.
You want me to work at your store? With you?
Yes. Reese, since you've been mentioned 6 times by name in the security handbook, you have to look for a job somewhere else. But I want you in a paper hat by the end of the week.
Please don't do this to me. Just let me find my own job.
Malcolm, it's already done. I had to call in a lot of favors with Mr. Young for you. You are not going to make me look bad by not honoring your commitments.
How is it my commitment?
Because I'm your mother and you're doing it. That's final.
I was thinking, there's a lot of germs flying
Yeah, Mom has a stupid idea about working.
That's enough. You boys heard your mother. We have always said you have to concentrate on your schoolwork before wasting your time on dead-end jobs. You have got your whole life to work and only one chance to learn.
I told them to get jobs, Hal.
The value of hard work. Money doesn't grow on trees. The sooner you two kids have jobs, the better.
That's so good. It's just fucking what a brilliant piece of writing that was. And I don't know, the chemistry, like they all fit into this show so well, and the older brother as well. What's his fucking Francis? It's such a fantastic show. I think it's still on Netflix as well. But yeah, it's great. Louis. I kind of respect the Rolling Stone for putting this on there. I do genuinely think that Louis C.K. is one of the greatest, stand-ups ever. Like, I don't think any stand-up ever has made me laugh as hard as I do when I'm watching his shows. And I think it's a type of delivery that only he can do, because they're not like jokes as much as they're like just him talking, and it's so captivating and entertaining and stuff like that. When was this list made? I don't know. I will check afterwards, but I assume it's pretty recent. Jake posted it in Discord last month, so I think that it's a recent enough thing. Like it acknowledges here there. So what is the list? It's the top 100 best TV sitcoms of all time. But yeah, I honestly only ever really saw scenes of this show, but I assume it's good because Louis C.K. is like a very talented comedian, but also I'll never watch it now because he's kind of, you know, cancelled. Wonder if Master of None will be on here. Doubt it. Let's see. Bob Newhart show. Don't want to listen to that, to be honest. Never saw this. Atlanta. I never watched this, but I know that people... I didn't know that this was a sitcom. I thought that this was a serious show. But, I don't know. Atlanta is so good. I don't like Donald Glover, really. And I thought that the movie... that movie that he made was so fucking shit and self-aggrandizing that I just have no... I don't know. I just don't want to watch this. It blends the line. Okay. I understand. Community. Never watched this show, but the way that people talk about it... This is really loud to me. The way that people talk about this show makes me think that it's pretty amazing, but yeah, I never seen it myself. Community's top 5, genuinely like no other sitcom. Community is so. two wildly differing opinions there. I think that I would like it because I like your man, Dan Harmon, in my top 10. Dan Harmon's Community is a good TV show. Okay. I'll probably watch it at some stage in my life. The Office US. Strange to think that The Office has become TV comfort food and one of the most popular shows, new or old, ever to appear on a streaming platform. Parts of Greg Daniels' adaptation of UK Office, some would argue the best parts, are excruciating to sit through, as we're trapped along with Jim, Pam, and the rest of Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, forced to endure their delusional, needy, socially incompetent boss, Michael Scott. But the remake's enduring popularity is a measure of how human and universal it all felt, even Michael developing a plausible degree of self-awareness before he moved on. Yeah, that's true. People have a much better opinion of Michael after finishing the show than they do during it, because he's actually a really fucking terrible guy who's so wrapped up in his own neuroticism and narcissism that he cannot fucking just exist in reality, basically. But the love story between Jim and Pam in this show is so fucking, like, I don't know, what's the word, like powerful or relatable, or I'm not sure, but it's amazing and it's really worth watching. The difference between opinions is that Rageman is right while Springsteen is wrong. If you're saying Mickey Brennan, maybe, but Springsteen is never wrong about anything. So yeah, not watch The Office. I need to keep watching The Office US. Dinner Party is in a league of its own. Yeah, but there's so many episodes though. Dwight's speech is one. The Booze Cruise one is so, like, not particularly funny, but really like a punch in the gut. Like the Casino Night one for the same reason. I don't know. It's an absolutely amazing TV show, and I am currently in the middle of rewatching it. So the roast is class. There are some moments of this that make like my skin want to crawl off of my body. It's so fucking hard to watch, but it's so good. South Park. Oh, South Park. Welcome to South Park, an all-American small town full of party mad little kids like Stan, Cameron, blah, blah, blah. You know, this list is kind of really redundant by how little they're saying about the... Like, they're just providing a blurb that describes the TV show rather than justifying its position on the list. I would say South Park deserves to be in the top 100 sitcoms of all time because it was so controversial and like revolutionary, and it really was, like, just like Friends was, this too was a phenomenon, just a post watershed one. But yeah, this show was like the beginning of like a moral panic for Christian conservatives and stuff like that. I don't particularly like the show, but when it's good, it is really, really good. The Pokemon episode, the Call of Duty episode, I think that there are some like really incredible pieces of screenwriting in this show, but for the most part I'm not really interested in it. What's the name of this list? This is called the Top 100 Best TV Sitcoms of All Time. Today smoking is gonna save lives. Yeah. Springsteen was only wrong when he released Human Touch and Lucky Town. Even if you combine those two together, I still don't think you get a very good album. But Fleabag, never saw this. Cool, looks good. BoJack Horseman. Here's one for all of you. Oh, Aaron Paul is in this. I didn't know that. Yeah, I never watched this show. People tell me that I should because some people say that it's something that I would really like, or that it's very me or something like that. I know that I'm pretty sure Johnny Sun wrote for like season 3 onwards of this or something like that, and I'm a big fan of his. You're too late, LGM already helped. Alright. Fleabag is so good. Aaron Paul's character is great in BoJack. Yeah, you would like it, El Defo. It's amazing if you're depressed. Sounds like it's right up my street. I won't lie to you. See you later, Eddie. Thanks for hanging out in the stream, pal. I appreciate it. This image of a man with a horse's head with a phone to his ear just doesn't make me want to watch it. I find it really hard to get into cartoons the older I get, so maybe someday. Roseanne. This show is this was on TV a lot, but I never watched it. But I am familiar, of course, with these two people, and they're very famous and all of that stuff. In fact, it's a horse put me off for a long time. It's true. If you guys do anything tonight, please watch Fleabag. It's a masterpiece on iPlayer. We don't all have iPlayer, GM. We don't all fucking pay TV license money to the Brits. 30 Rock. Never got into this, but a lad in my college swore by it. He said it was like one of the best TV shows ever, and I do trust his word. He's one of the few people that I went to college with whose word actually means something to me. But never watched it. Isn't there something in this show? Alec Baldwin's character comes up with an idea to run for president off the premise that he would build a wall between America and Mexico. Pretty sure. Stop trying to make Fleabag happen, GM. It's not gonna happen. Listen to Dave. He knows what's up. Taxi. Never watched it. And I was about to say I've heard of it, but you know, I think I'm thinking of the Brazilian movie, Cosby Show. Never watched that. But I respect that they fucking... I don't know, yeah. Arrested Development. I never watched this show either. I'm not gonna lie, this show seems really fucking annoying. This character here, the way he's presented in every advert I've ever seen for it, makes me think that I'll hate it. And this fucking guy here has never played a likable character in anything that he's in. So I never bothered with this. I just don't think that it's for me. But I could be wrong, maybe. Arrested Development is hilarious. I didn't like Arrested Development. Apparently 30 Rock does blackface more than is acceptable for when it was released. Really? Loved Arrested Development, but should have finished after season 3. I always get Arrested Development confused with Parks and Rec as well, because they're both shows that were huge, but I never watched either of them. The Andy Griffith Show. GHAM, have you seen this? Seen as like Peep Show is easily in your top 10 or whatever. Sorry, I don't know why I'm picking on you. Frasier. I really like this show. I used to watch it a lot when I was younger because I used to have insomnia, and this would be on really late at night. And yeah, I really did enjoy it. I never really watched Cheers. In fact, I never watched Cheers, to be honest. But I thought that Frasier was class for Ryan Frasier. My lookalike comment seems racist, seeing as it came after Jake's. That's why I didn't read it out. Curb is so good as well. There are so many great comedies. I definitely put Parks and Rec in my top 5. I never seen it. Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah, this show is really good. One thing that I hate about this show, though, is that it spawned this fucking meme of like, curb your blah blah blah, and it shows someone doing a thing and then like, or they say a thing and then the opposite happens or whatever, and so many people don't actually understand the format that they're doing, and it's just really frustrating for me. So Griffith Show is fantastic. Larry David is the man. Yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm is really good, but it can be so fucking hard to watch if you are if you don't deal with awkward very well. The ultimate Sigma male. Okay. Dick Van Dyke Show, never seen that. Larry Sanders Show, I never seen that. Parks and Rec, here it is, boys. Look how much they've written about this. Loads of stuff. And I've never even seen it, so I can't even talk about it. But I will say this. This guy is in the TV show Devs. And he plays like a tech like CEO in it. And it feels like it shouldn't work because he doesn't seem like that kind of actor. But holy shit, it's incredible. So that's my little blurb about Parks and Rec is that I haven't seen it, but I've seen something that one of the actors is in that's good, so you should watch that. Ron Swanson, go. Parks and Rec, 14 places above The Office. I can't comment because I've never seen it. I know that Jack Brown and Luce Moore are big fans of it. Honeymooners, never seen that, but know about it because of Family Guy. The Mary Tyler Moore Show, never seen that. MASH, never seen that. But did you know that there are more hours of footage? No, there are more hours of televised MASH than there were hours America spent in the Korean War. That's a wild fact to think about. Ron Swanson is actually the ultimate Sigma male. You told this on the Midnight Hour. I'm telling you again. Get ready, boys. Explain that one, historians. I never knew if it was true. Oh, it's true. You can't lie on a podcast. Of course it's true. All in the Family, never seen that. I Love Lucy, never seen that. Seinfeld. What do we reckon is number one? It's got to be The Simpsons, right? I guess. I've never seen Seinfeld. So, yeah, unfortunately nothing to say about this. I know some of the things in it, like what's the deal with airline food and stuff like that. But yeah, never saw it. Always get really... I find Jerry Seinfeld to be really fucking like annoying and unlikable. So he's got that going for him. Fuck off, Seinfeld is wank and he's a pedo. Yeah, I mean, he's not a pedo, but he's definitely something. Little Britain. Man, Little Britain was so shit, honestly. Cheers, yeah, of course. Never saw this. I know Frasier is in it. I love the Simpsons episode with Flaming Moe's that's based largely around Cheers. I think my mum used to like Cheers. I kind of really like the idea of Cheers, like the romanticized everyone just sitting in a pub all the time. Makes me feel pretty secure about my lifestyle choices. Guy married a 17-year-old when he was 38. Yeah, that's not what pedophilia is, though. So I don't think you can call him that. But anyways, yeah, The Simpsons would be number one. What else could it be? Very true. There's more good material in those later seasons than you'd think. Plus, the first 10 years cover so much ground in subject, style, and sheer density of humor. Everything after could just be Frank Grimes listing his grievances against Homer, and it still wouldn't drag the series' batting average down. What began as a slice-of-life animated family comedy, really as shorts on the Tracy Ullman Show, soon expanded into a broad social satire that saw Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie traveling the globe and occasionally orbiting it, mixing it up with ex-presidents, Hollywood celebrities, and homicidal kids show sidekicks. The sweep of the series has become so wide, and its jokes have cut so deep that there is a Simpsons meme for nearly every topic imaginable, and not just because the show has been accidentally prescient about many things like the Trump presidency. In its early days, The Simpsons was condemned by conservatives as a show that was going to destroy Western civilization, but Friends did that. So anyways, yeah, amazing show, The Simpsons. I used to watch it every single day. I remember when we first got satellite television. I know that I sound really old. It's not actually that we were old, it's just that we couldn't afford satellite television for like first, like, I don't know, 10 years or something like that of my life. But then when we did get it, every day at 6 o'clock on Sky One they would show 2 episodes of The Simpsons, and some days they would show 4 episodes of it. And it's fucking amazing. I actually rewatched the first like 10 seasons or so recently, and I even went past that. I think I might have went up to like 15 seasons or something. It's so good. It's crazy how good it is and how relatable the characters are and how funny the jokes are. Even just the style of comedy in this show is like, there are things in it that are funny that shouldn't really be funny, and I don't even know if I understand why they're funny, like the one-handed clap and stuff like that. Can't believe the Simpsons were about to ruin Western civilization, and then bang, Friends beats them to it. It's true. I mean, if you're at the point of going, well, technically about pedophilia, he's probably a wrong one. 17 is the legal age in Ireland. If a 38-year-old marries a 17-year-old in Ireland, that's not anything. So I don't think you can say it's not just that it's a technicality, it's just that it's literally incorrect. Simpsons' class deserves number one. I think so, yeah. I think the point that it makes here, like, I haven't seen every sitcom ever, obviously, but this is so wide-reaching, and like it still has that sort of mainstream memification and stuff like that it just is there. Elle marrying a 17-year-old confirmed. Fuck's sake, can we not just? It's not illegal, but it's highly immoral and downright weird. I think it's weird. I don't think, like, I would never, if my friend was 38 marrying a 17-year-old, I would think that that's really fucking weird. But I couldn't call him a pedophile. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just have, all I'm saying is that you can't be, like, inaccurate about an accusation like that. So yeah, I don't know. Like, he's not a pedophile, so therefore we can't call him one or be seen to call him one, because you can get sued for things like that. But yeah, it's definitely fucking weird. Elle's fantasies is fuck off. Fuck all of you. What if Steph is 12? Is that okay? All right, fellas, we can it with this kind of talk. It's unbecoming. It's not big and it's not clever. Looking for a younger woman, are you? You have created a monster GM, but you knew what you were doing. Why would it be worse if Steph is older than she is? All right, Jesus fucking Christ. Anyways, do you think that I should put this on YouTube? This is like an hour and a half of content, all given to us by Jake's suggestion. That's pretty great. You have to respect it. I wish I could stream stuff like this all the time. It's so much easier than playing games and worrying about, like, actually having to be good at the game and stuff like that. But yeah, there we go. Next, do the list of Springsteen songs just for me. Do top 100 albums. We already did that though. I actually found some new albums just from that list. Here, speaking of albums, can we talk about something? You know, Spotify, it does this thing that's really fucking annoying to me, and I want to show you what it is. So let's say I want to listen to an album here, and I go to Ceremony by Fantagram, and I press play, and it starts playing. So now my queue is this album, right? But when this album's over, I want another album queued up, so I'm going to put on Palms by Palms. So let's add that to the queue, and then I go in here, and the way it's going to do it is it's going to play track 1 of this Fantagram album, then it's going to play a Palms album, then it's going to play the rest of the Fantagram album. That's so fucking dumb. Is there a way I can change that? This is the stupidest fucking thing. It's really easy on a computer, right? Because I can just do this and drag it down there. On a phone, I can't fucking do that. On a phone, you have to do it one by one. You have to select each fucking thing, and it is so irritating. So can we solve this for once and for all? Because it's really annoying. You have to just queue the first album. Fuck Spotify. No, Spotify is the best, because on Spotify, I can just go to my library here, click this, and here is a bunch of music that I will like, that I've never heard of before for the most part. It's all stuff based around my taste. If I go to this kind of screen on Apple Music, it's like, have you heard of Oasis? You know, Apple Music hasn't a fucking clue. It doesn't know. Actually, I think Tasha uses Deezer, so never mind. Or one of those fucking Pandora, or one of those like ones that no one... yeah, Deezer. Come on, no one uses that. What even is that? That's one of those companies that's like going out of business because they have so few... Their users are dying of old age. I'm sorry, that was real fighting talk. I'm gonna have to take some of that back. But yeah, I don't know. What do you want from me? Answer the question, have you heard of Oasis? Yeah, and Oasis is a big watery paradise that you find in the desert when you've been walking around for days. These nuts. Are you happy with what you've said, Mickey Brennan? These are more like a Weezer because it's for virgins. Okay. What do we do now, gang? We play GeoGuessr for all time's sake. Play some AoE. Fire up the truck. Drive a truck across America. What do we do? Is there any football on tonight? Wow, Serbia and Jamaica have drawn 1-1. In Japan, as I understand it. Geez, all the heavy hitting friendlies here. Ukraine, Cyprus, you've got Andorra, Gibraltar, Faroe Islands versus Liechtenstein. Ugh, it's all happening. Cheers for that content, Al. Jesus Christ.